Good evening, Ayurveda, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum to all of you. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to today's webinar. This is the most expected webinar that we are waiting for so long. This is the third conference which is organized by ICA about foreign job opportunities for Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha doctors. And the Asian Institute of KERALEEYA Ayurveda. So we are one of the few leading Ayurveda training providers in Sri Lanka, especially. We are the first institute offering the guidance and training programs for medical professionals like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani doctors and medical students. And also we are providing career guidance program about job opportunities in foreign countries. So as like that, today's webinar is about career progression in UK for Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha doctors. This program will be conducted by an Ayurvedic doctor who is already successfully working in UK. So this is the time to welcome the guest speaker, Dr. Rizana Branuddin, Bachelor of Unani Medicine and Surgery, MSc in Applied Public Health, Diploma in Medical Audio Transcription, Clinical Coordinator and Practice Educator, Northwest London National Health Service Trust.
Hello.
Yes,
Hi.
Doctor. Now you can share the your document and start the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Wasima. Let me just start with sharing. Okay, can you see my screen now? Hello, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Doctor.
Thank you. I'll start my video just in case if you don't know who I am. First of all, good evening to everyone. Assalamu alaikum, vanakkam, ayubowan. My name is Rizana Branuddin. I'm a graduate from Sri Lanka IIM Unani, graduated in 2000 and I can't remember, 10, I guess. Actually, I initially started in Ayurvedic stream and changed to Unani stream. After some advice from my seniors, and I followed in Unani stream, and I've completed my 5 years academic years in 2009. And once I completed the academic years, I just finished my first week of induction at Navinna, and I had to come to UK to join my husband. Yeah, so initially when Dr. Saja approached me to and asked me to conduct this program, I was a bit reluctant because I never done anything like this, even though I had done so many degrees and stuff. This is my first ever webinar, so apologies if I don't conduct this properly, or if you don't understand anything, please raise your hand or let me know if you want any further clarifications. I'm more than happy to help you and clarify you in any language. So my mother tongue, I consider Sinhalese as my mother tongue because I studied in Sinhala medium. And I'm okay with Tamil and I'm okay with English somewhat. And hopefully I will clarify your questions as we go on. And also we have a question and answer session at the end. You can keep your questions until last moment if you want, or you can any time in the middle of the session, you can stop and ask your questions. Okay, so I'll start with my journey. So I'm going to actually divide this presentation into three main categories. First one, I'm going to, in first part, I'm going to discuss about my own experience since I came to UK. And in the second part, I'm going to discuss about some opportunities available in UK for Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani graduates. And in my third session, I'm going to discuss about how to become a clinician, how to become a clinical practitioner in UK. Okay, so moving to my first part of the presentation, I'm going to talk about my journey in UK. As I said, I came to UK in 2009. My initial thought was just to finish my, just to stay for 1 month and go back to Sri Lanka after a month and finish my internship. But once I came here, the plans changed. I had to stay more than 1 month. In that case, I had to postpone my internship. So I got to know that I could finish within 2 years if I want to graduate in Unani. So I thought, okay, let me utilize that time and let me start searching for opportunities in UK, because my husband was totally against going back to Sri Lanka, and he said, no, why don't you look for something here? And I didn't want to do that, but because of him, I had to look for some opportunities. And when I first came here, the initial thought was, I was like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Have I taken the wrong decision? I'm not going to live in this country. This is not the one for me. I'm going back to Sri Lanka. Because it's like the weather was like beginning of, it was the autumn time actually. The weather was mild, but the loneliness, you don't have anyone around, you don't know anyone, you can't go out alone. There were a lot of things that I had, because of some, a lot of reasons, I wanted to go back. But I needed to have my own family as well. So I thought, okay, let's give a chance and let's stay here and find something. And so by that time, I started searching for job opportunities. And whatever I was searching, every job vacancy was looking for UK qualifications, UK experience, which I didn't have. I was new to the country. I don't know anyone. I don't have anyone's reference to provide. My husband is not into academic side, so he didn't have any knowledge to guide me as well. Anyway, so I was keep applying for jobs. Maybe I have applied more than 300 jobs by the time I was alone and I had time to do it. I didn't give up and I was keep applying. And around December 2009, there was a peak of pandemic flu that time in England, swine flu. So I just applied for one of the jobs called pandemic flu support worker. And I got that job without any interviews. I don't know. I was lucky or whatever it is. Maybe it was God's will that I had to stay here. So it was a good pay as well. And no formalities. I didn't have to submit any references or anything like that. For some reason, I got the job. Maybe they were in a dire like a need or something like that. So they gave a good salary as well. But it was not a permanent job. It was a temporary one. So I did that for like I think it's around 8 months. By the end of that job contract, again, I started thinking, oh, I need to go back now. I need to finish my course somehow, because my colleague, my batchmates, by that time already nearly finishing their internship. So I went, I could convince my husband to go back, and I went back to Sri Lanka. And I started continuing my internship. I did with my direct juniors, then with my super juniors. And at the end, I've completed my internship in 2 years and 6 days, 6 days extra. Um, yeah, so once I finished my degree, I came back and I had my first son, and I was away from anything after that because I had to be a full-time mom. Couldn't do anything, didn't have time to look for jobs or anything like that. So I stayed home from 2011 to 2013. I didn't do anything. I had some job opportunities to work in other sectors like retail, like in hospitality field. But back in my mind, I know I'm a doctor back home. I want to be in that field. I don't want to look for any other job opportunities. I didn't want to look for any opportunities other than something similar, um, something that related to like medical field. Um, but when I started searching for job opportunities, I realized that there is a pathway that you can take. One day it will reach you to a clinician level. Also, in this country, there is no discrimination against anyone. If you work in one place, everyone will be treated equally. It doesn't matter you are a doctor, doesn't matter you are a cleaner. Nobody will have any like difference, treated differently. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, I had to start from the scratch. I had to start somewhere. Then I realized I can do something, even a small course, and get into the healthcare field, a proper job. Then yeah, I decided to stay in the healthcare field. So these are the things I did during my time from 2009 to now. So I first ever course I did was medical audio transcription. It is a diploma. The good side of this course was it didn't have like a strict routine that you have to go on this time, you have to finish this time. This was a very flexible course that I could go at any time and I could finish whenever I could. Um, so I know some students, they finish within 2-3 months, but it took me like 10 to 12 months to complete this course, even though it's a very easy course. That didn't have any like difficult things to finish. It was all about like Microsoft package and medical terminologies and stuff. And when I was doing that course, I could meet a lot of people. I developed contacts because even to apply for a job in this country, you always, people always look for a good reference, which I didn't have initially. But when I started doing this course, I met a lot of good people, and they recommended me to different things. And I have noticed that I could do certain things that I can get into something bottom level of healthcare. Then I could do this short course called Competency in Phlebotomy and Venipuncture. I know a lot of students who came from Sri Lanka to do their degrees in UK. They've done this course. So I did this privately, and it was a short course. It just took 2-3 days to complete the actual course, but that also looked for 6 months UK experience. But you need to have at least 6 months UK experience to get into a job. Anyway, when I finished that course, the institute director, he's a Indian doctor, and he has studied in India, but he changed his course to, qualification to UK, and he thought I don't know what he thought. Like, he gave me the job opportunity to work as a phlebotomy instructor in his institute. So I started working as a health phlebotomy instructor in the same institute where I did my course. It was during 2013. So from 2013 to 2015, I worked as a phlebotomy instructor in that place. the good thing with that was they paid a good money. But the bad thing was I had to travel like 1.5 hours from home. I don't drive, so it took me like 1.5 hours to travel. By the end of 2000, no, at the beginning of 2015, I had my second son, so I had to give up that job also to stay home for another 9 months. After I had the baby, full-time mom care, and yeah, so 2015 February, March to end of 2015, I was at home, and after some time I realized I can do something. No, that's enough. It's stressful to stay home. You see your friends back home doing well. They are now doctors, and they are like now demonstrators doing well in their career. I should do something as well. So I was looking for some masters at that time. The only drawback I had was I couldn't apply as a UK home student because I wasn't a UK resident that time. I was the dependent under my husband's visa category. So I had to wait until I get my UK residency or nationality to apply in UK home student category. Otherwise, I would have to pay under overseas students category. So once I got my nationality, I was looking for job master's opportunities, because I wanted to do something that will help me take further in my career. But I have to say, I even applied for graduate entry medicine. For that, I got refused from all 5 universities, mainly because I think it's lack of healthcare experience. And the first degree they were looking for was like biomedical science, pharmacy, nursing, which I didn't have. I only had the Unani degree, where they didn't accept it. But I did all these aptitude tests, like UK aptitude test for entrance, IELTS and everything. I passed everything except my first degree wasn't enough to get into medical field, medicine. So all 5 universities refused me, rejected. After that, I was looking for job opportunities, and one day I went to my own GP practice. We call it GP surgeries, that is the general practitioner services available in UK. We call it surgery. So I went to my own surgery for one of the appointments for my son. And I asked the doctor, do you have any vacancies to work in your place? It's the primary care sector. And she listened to me and she asked about everything. And she said, okay, we have a vacancy coming up from next month. Would you like to join? Then I was so happy because it's just 5 minutes walking distance from my place. I said, yes. Then she asked how many hours you can work. Then I was a bit taken back because I couldn't work full time. Because of my kids, 2 kids. Here you don't have any help. You have to do everything alone. Then I came home and I discussed with my husband, and he said, okay, if you want to change, you can start working maybe a couple of days. I started working 2 days. It was like 8 hours per week. And I earned very small money from that. But I am happy now because of that basic level only. I could apply for my current degree because they looked for all this experience of healthcare when they selected students for this course. Anyway, I started working as a healthcare support worker and a phlebotomist there, which was 2-3 steps below the one I did already. But I was happy because I could meet a lot of people. I could get NHS trainings in there. Once you are in the NHS, they guide you for several things. Like they guide you and they give you free training funded by NHS. So I was lucky I could get into different training pathways. So during that time, because I already had my degree, nationality, I applied for different degrees to do my master's, and I got through the applied public health in master's. So I finished this in 2017, master's in applied public health, and I started working for my local authority, which is like what do you call? It's a health authority. It's like Saukya Sangvardhana something. I don't know in Sri Lanka now, but in here we call it clinical commissioning group, which they commissioned and provide support for primary care network. So I could work for one of the projects for my local authority. So that was the time I could use my public health degree. So once I started my public health related job, I realized that I am not into this clinical research field or like research work or field work. It was mostly related to field work. So I thought, no, I'm not going to do this. I am more into clinical side. I want to look for something clinical. So I was looking for like other clinical related courses. Then in the meantime, I was part-timely doing something called medical coding and summarizing for my primary care network, because in our area, we have like, I think 8-9 surgeries. Once you are in that primary network, they all look for people, and I could work for everyone. Not everyone, actually, a couple of surgeries, primary practice areas. So I started doing the medical coding as a part-time job. Then my kids now grown up, not grown up, like my younger one is 8 years old. So he is in full-time school now. Here, the full-time school means it's from morning 8:15 to evening 3:30. So you have enough time to do something. So that's the time I thought I can now move on to a full-time job or full-time. If you want to pursue anything, then this is the time. So that's when I applied for this Masters in Advanced Clinical Practitioner course. I actually applied for another course, but they realized that I have enough UK experience and enough qualifications that they offered me this advanced practitioner course. And now I am halfway through this course. Hopefully by the end of next year, I can be qualified as a clinical practitioner, hopefully, if God's will. And yeah, so these are the challenges and opportunities I have faced during my journey. First and foremost, it was the language barrier. Language was one of the main things I have faced here. Yeah, I could speak English since I have studied English in school. I finished my degree. I used my English there. But here, when you come to UK, it's completely different. Their accent's different. You will see different people speaking in different way. Africans, they speak differently. Scottish people, they speak differently. I found it a bit of a challenge. I was always kind of shy to go and speak to them. I thought, oh, what if I talk wrongly? Like if I say something wrong, will they laugh at me? Then after some time, I've noticed that there are people, white-skinned people, coming from Europe. They speak worse English than me. So I thought, okay, that's fine. I can manage with what I have. So that gave me a confidence so I could overcome that barrier. And second thing is people and culture. Okay, so this was one of the main drawbacks, the challenges I had to face. The first time when I came here, so one lady who is from Sri Lanka, she's like 20 years older than me. She lived with us. I mean, we were sharing our house, and this lady, when I called her by her, like I call her Akka, and she said, "Don't call me Akka. You don't call Akka or Nangi or auntie, uncle in this country. You can just call me by my name." I was like, "Oh, how can I do that? You are older than me. How can I just call by your name?" But I still call her as Akka, but she was fine. But I learned that you can't call everyone by their, like, calling by relationships like auntie, uncle. You have to call by their name. Like, for example, if I go to school with my children, their friends call me by my name, not by my, like, not calling me Auntie Rizana or something like that. Just they call me Rizana. It's a bit weird, but that's the culture here. They treat everyone equally. That is something like you have to comment on. Then next thing is the weather. Weather is of course you all know that sometimes during the winter time it goes to -degrees. Sometimes you'll have to wear like 3 or 4 layers to go outside, covered, hands covered, boots on, and scarves. Anyway, I wear scarves. That's fine. Thick coats, heavy coats. Yeah, like 8 months in the year is like that, like this. Only you have 3 to 4 months of hot weather. Maybe like from April to August is you have some sunshine. Otherwise, you always see the gray sky, which is somewhat like create a homesick. But after some time, you get used to it. But don't worry about that. Now I don't like summer. Actually, I love winter. Okay, the other thing is away from your loved ones, definitely. When you have parties back home, like weddings, like any ceremony or like a festival, you always miss your family. I have my husband's family here, but then again, it's not like everyone here. I miss my cousins, I miss my immediate family. They visit me, they help me, but of course you miss your friends and everyone there back home, especially in this during this time. You see a lot of things happening in Sri Lanka. I don't know whether I should be happy for being here or to be sad for to see the people suffering there. But obviously I was missing, and I am missing my loved ones. Yeah, so the other challenge I faced was lack of UK experience. Thank God I don't have it anymore. Then like, no UK qualification, that was one of the main things. And I didn't have local references that time. I could get my academic references from IIM. That helped me to do my master's. I got my reference from Dr. Mawjood and Dr. Nazim, and I'm very thankful for them to provide me that references. And yeah, the other challenge I had faced was my family commitments. Yeah, I'm a full-time mom. Whatever happened, it comes first. Being a mom is the most important thing in my life. So I can keep everything aside when it comes to my children. I'm sure that our brothers won't have this problem when it comes to like pursue their career in the future to work full time. And yeah, next, so keep all these challenges aside, but there are a lot of other opportunities you can count on. You can be like happy in this country. One is main thing is there's plenty of opportunities. If you don't want to work in healthcare sector, you can always change your field. If you don't want to work in other sector, you can always change into healthcare sector. You guys won't believe that I have my friends in my batchmates actually comes from very vast range of areas, sectors. There are lawyers, there are politicians, there are fashion designers, there are people who worked in care homes, there are people who worked in ambulance service. Yeah, so these are the students in my batch. So that means anyone can pursue anything, you know, if you put your mind into. So that opportunity is here in this country. You can always change your field. If you don't want now this one now, you can change your field. Yeah. Then there's a flexibility of specialization. Like for example, what I mean here is like, if you're a pharmacist, don't ask me about Sri Lankan pharmacist qualification, which worth nothing in this country. But if you're a pharmacist, you can specialize in this pharmacy field to be a clinical pharmacist. Like that, in each field, you can develop into the highest level. For example, you may think that, so you work together, you see different people in a multidisciplinary team. You see a doctor, you see a pharmacist, you see a physiotherapist, you see a occupational therapist. You think, oh, the doctor earns better than me, oh, I should respect him. It's not like this in this country. If you're a junior doctor, you earn the same level as like band 4, band 5. I mean, like a little bit senior pharmacist or like healthcare support worker, a nurse. It's more equal, mostly equivalent to like, you know, like other jobs. There is a band system in National Health Service, so everyone should go through that band system. You can't skip all the bands and get to the highest level. The pay scale is always step by step. Then next thing is diversity and inclusion. Yeah, so this is one of the main thing in this country I've seen. You work with like people with different religion, different races, but there is always an inclusion. Like you don't get discriminated for your color, for your ethnicity, for your religion, for how you dress. Never ever. I've in this so from 2009 to now, I've never experienced ever in my life any kind of discrimination against my race or religion, or being a woman, or being a Muslim lady, like nothing. So I'm very grateful in that case. Then the next thing is, there is a better lifestyle here. I don't know. The better lifestyle is totally, it depends. It can be different from person to person. The level of acceptance in the country, acceptance. I mean, if you're happy with what you have anywhere you live, that is, you can't argue about that. But definitely you have free education system, free healthcare system in this country. And for example, if you go to a supermarket, you can choose there is a wide range of things you can buy. Like for example, if you want to buy a bread, you can buy a cheaper one, like 50p you can spend and buy. Also, you can buy the most expensive bread. Like there is a range of products you can choose. It's not like in Sri Lanka, you have to go and buy only one product available. You have to buy only that. So there's a wide range of products available in this country if you can spend money, depend on how much money you have. Then there is this government support. The government support can be range from educational funding. There is this fund government give for students, and loans the government gives, and also they helps for low income families, income support, and like the kids with disabilities, differently abled kids get support, special houses, special equipments, everything's available in this country. Yeah, so the latest technology is somewhat included in that same thing. And you get a good paycheck, handsome paycheck at the end of your hard work. That is one thing. Like, for example, even a healthcare support worker can take around 200 pounds per day home, which is like, now it's like 60,000 rupees per day. It's a good money, but the expenses are high. But two people work, you can easily lead a good life. Okay, now I'll move on to the next step, which is the career paths you have in this country. So you can look for jobs in, actually, if you ask me about the visa entrance requirements and all, visa requirements, I would say I don't have any experience in that. I'm not the right person to ask, but I can guide with any job opportunities and studies for how to choose a course or which job it will go with the course and all. So we have National Health Service, just like in Sri Lanka government sector, and we have the private sector, which is not very popular. National Health Service is the most popular thing. You have your primary care and your secondary care, just like in Sri Lanka. So the primary care will be like your work in the council area, just like I said, in the clinical commissioning group. And you have GP surgeries, that's general practitioner surgeries. Then you can work in pharmacies. Then you can work in dental practices. Then when it's come to private sector, you have all these things. The secondary care includes hospitals, care homes, and certain areas. Like mainly it's secondary is hospitals. Then let's see the next slide. So there are a wide range of options you can select your jobs in. So even though I have summarized here as clinical, non-clinical, in each area you see subdivisions of job categories. If you go to each category, there will be more subcategories in each job description. Like you can be a doctor, you can be a nurse, pharmacist, occupation. These are some of the examples, not all. You can search yourself about that. So I mainly categorize this as clinical and non-clinical. In non-clinical, we can take your research studies and your administrative work. And in clinical side, I've categorized doctors, nurses, pharmacists, occupational therapists, dietitians, physiotherapists, podiatrists, audiologists, complementary therapists, and optometrists, psychologists. Yeah, there are more. So in non-clinical, you can take research side. You can be a researcher, research coordinator, research assistant, statistician, drug development studies, pharma industry, social care, and this aesthetic care. Aesthetic care, actually, I have added it last moment because it is one of the evolving thing in UK now. So if you are a qualified practitioner, you can, it's just like we can rent our pharmacy certificate in Sri Lanka. You can be there as the clinician, and people can run their beauty salon. Like if you all know, like Botoxes, injections, vitamin injections, all these beauty cultural things comes under this category, aesthetic care, and it is one of the highly paid areas nowadays. And in administrative section, we can take, so these all jobs you can find in primary care and secondary care. You can be a receptionist in the GP surgery. You can be a receptionist in hospital. You can be a doctor in GP surgery or clinical commissioning group. You can be a doctor in hospital. Like that, all these job categories can be found under primary care network and the secondary care network. And then you have in administrative, as I said, you can be a receptionist, administrator, management. Don't think about the job role you are going to take. I personally know some people who started as a receptionist in a GP surgery. Now they are like qualified nurses and specialist nurses. So once you are in the field, what happens is the National Health Service provide fund for the career progression of the people. So you can choose the job opportunities or the courses to step up your level. So don't think about the position you're going to be in. One day you can be a receptionist, next day you can be a specialist. So don't worry about that. Then you have medical coders. This is one of the best things you can look for as Unani physicians. because we have good medical knowledge, but we don't have a place where we should apply this for. That's the thing in this country. Even though we have a very good knowledge about medicine, there's nowhere we can apply that for unless you are practicing privately. I know there are a few people, not personally, I've heard about them, that they practice Unani medicine here and hijama. But maybe if you all can arrange another session with them, it will be very beneficial for you. So I actually looked for options initially when I came to UK, but I wasn't that experienced to start as a Unani practitioner because I didn't have much time to practice there. So I gave up that option. But anyone who already work in Unani field and practicing as a Unani doctor, they can easily start their own business here. It will come under a business category here, even though it's medical holistic treatment category, like complementary therapy kind of treatments. I've seen, so currently I work for a cancer specialist hospital. So there I see sometimes they have acupuncture, Chinese medicine, and herbal medicine because there are like they are all like cancer patients. They can request for complementary medicine. So there is a section for complementary medicine. I have also seen some hospitals have a homeopathic clinics. So there are some options, but I've never seen any Unani sections in any hospitals. But these are the things I have come across with. So you can have a look at those options as well. Then some examples for administrative things are medical note summarizing. Medical note summarizing is an easy job. It's an administrative, but you can apply your medical knowledge into that. It is a basic level job, but it is something you all can look into if you intend to come to UK. And let's see the next slide. So I've just added some of the links, web links that can be helpful for you all to decide if it's a good idea to come to UK, or should I what should I do, or like to take a decision actually. So I'm just trying to open these links one by one and see if I can take you guys to those links. If it opens up, let me just minimize this presentation and take you guys through these links. Okay. So the first one is called Prospects UK. Here you can find any job description like this. So if you go to the job profile, there are like links for like courses and anything if you want to look for. Like you can browse which sector you want to look for. Let me just take you through it to show you. So I hope you can get this presentation from the event organizers, so you can yourself have a look. But I just show you how to access what you want. So I just look for healthcare field, and there are 81 job profiles available. Let's say, okay, let's say an anatomy and pathology technologist. Let's open that, and it takes you to a full job profile, which will help you to decide what qualification I should have to be a anatomical pathology technologist. So it's a full description, including the job profile and salary scheme, and what band pay you will get, working hours, working pattern, what to expect, what qualification you need to become in that level. Yeah, so that is one of the links I wanted to share. So you can go one by one, search through it. And the next one is, this is NHS candidate homepage for NHS jobs. You can look for like anything available for international applicants. This is the NHS job website. So I hope it will open. So you can create a profile in that, and you can keep looking for jobs, the area you want your jobs to be. It's very slow. Yeah, so this is the website. This is the official National Health Service website that you can look, you can do a job hunt. Let's say you want to be a dental nurse. Then we say which location. I'll say it's a dental nurse. Then, so I live in Wembley. It's Northwest London area. I would say Northwest London. And I search. And it gives all the local jobs available. So you can create your own profile, and you don't have to fill each time. You just have to click and submit the application. That is one website you can use in job hunting, or like searching for vacancies, or to see if you need any extra qualifications. And the next one is, this is from the NHS website as well. It's just like the first one I told you, prospects. It will take you to an NHS career pathway site. So in that you can access each and every job role. Let's say allied health professionals, or let's say ambulance team. There you can see what you can do and what sort of job vacancies there you can apply for. Yeah, that's one thing. Even the public health sector, if you want to see what you can be in future, if you do a public health degree and a pharmacy degree or psychology degree or whatever, that is one important website to decide your career. And this one is a job searching engine. It's like Google search. It's a job search engine, and it's called Indeed. There are a few like this. This is one of the main search engines. You can just type the job title you want, and you can find the available jobs. Mostly, this website has like not NHS, like private sector job vacancies. So this is one of the important website. And the next one is also a search engine. It's called Total Jobs. There are so many. These are like few main ones I'm sharing with you guys. Yeah, so this is another search engine. You can look for job vacancies. You can look for international applicants as well. Hopefully you will find more. You can see how much they're going to pay you and all. Mostly these are private sector advertised jobs vacancies. Then this one is will take you to the job, so NHS pay scales. How does the NHS pays for each job category, or which band they pay for, from band 2 to band 9. Like if you're a doctor, you will start from band 5, band 6. If you're a nurse, also will start from a band 5. If you're a healthcare support worker, it's a band 3. Initially, it's band 2. Then it will take you to the next level, band 3. So these are all, there will be always a tax deduction from whatever you earn. So you can go through it. And the next one is something called, this one actually, earlier it was known as UKNARIC, UKNARIC. Now it's been changed after Brexit. This is a website that you can compare your qualifications. Like, for example, if like our degree, Bachelor of Unani and Medicine, Surgery and Medicine. So what you can do is you can take a statement of comparability. Once you get into that website, you just have to submit all your details, your degree certificate, and then they will give you a certificate comparing your degree to UK qualifications. For example, if you want to compare your GCS, your O levels, your A levels, anything can be comparable in this website. Yeah, so you can see if my A levels is accepted in this country or which level it's been accepted. Yeah, so these are some of the websites I've added links. There are so many. I don't know if anyone personally they can contact me if you want to know anything. Yeah, so let's move on to the working hours and contract types. So for me, I'm still a part-time worker. Now I'm a full-time student again, and I'm a part-time worker. So you can choose your working pattern. I work for the primary care, so I don't have to work on Saturday and Sundays. I think it's ideal for a woman, but in secondary care, you have to work for night shifts. If you are a nurse or you're a pharmacist, then you will get night shifts and all. Not all. I mean, some of the job vacancies will look for like staff that covers the night shifts as well. So the jobs can be, contracts can be permanent, temporary, can be a maternity cover, or it can be a contract basis, and it can be a bank or locum. This bank is not the bank we go and deposit our money or do transfers. This is called agency work actually. Here, it works for most of the students because you don't have to abide by any contract if you work in a bank or locum job. So what you have to do is you have, just like I showed you earlier in website search engines, you can search for a job and you can apply in these agencies. What they do is they send you all the available jobs. So you can decide whether you can take it or just let go. Like you can decide how many hours you want to work. It's like self-employed. For students who comes here and they are allowed only to work for 20 hours, this category is one of the ideal thing to do actually. And then you have remote working opportunities as well in this country. You can be a transcriber, you can be a coder, like especially people like me, like moms. They can do working from home if you choose a remote work opportunity. So these can be either full-time or part-time. Okay, so I am moving to my next part. I don't know if I'm up with the time. So if you want to be a clinician, you can be one of these. So what I mean by a clinician here is, if you're a clinician, you can see a patient, you can prescribe medications. So you are in one of the highest pay scales in the NHS. You can use your stethoscope, basically. Yeah, so you can be a doctor, you can be a clinical pharmacist, nurse specialist. So in clinical nurse specialist, I have to tell you one thing. This is one of the most demanding areas in UK at the moment in healthcare. For example, if you are a qualified nurse, I think this will be helpful for anyone. If it's not for you, you can spread the news to anyone in the country. So if you are a nurse, you can apply for a job. Once you're here, NHS guides you through until you become a specialist nurse. So it's like actually a one step above a doctor level, I mean junior doctor level. Like I've seen in hospital, in some emergency cases, doctors comes and doctors can't diagnose, and doctors can't give the immediate treatment or management plan, but the specialist nurse can. But they are very good at these things. So if you're like a nurse for few months or few years, you can apply to become a clinical specialist nurse. For example, there are like specialist nurses in cancer, specialist nurses in wound management. Like each section has their own specialist nurse, so their pay scale is very high. Then there is this advanced clinical practitioner, which is what I'm following at the moment. Then you have this physician associate thing. This physician associate thing is a newly introduced thing to UK, which initially started in USA. So this is kind of introduced to in the purpose of cost cutting. Actually, you work under a physician. You will work under a physician. You can see your patients, but only thing is you can't prescribe medications. The physician associates can't prescribe any medication. But I heard that in future, hopefully near future, they will also be able to prescribe medication, because this is an growing field at the moment. This is a master's degree. You can apply with a Unani degree actually, if you have enough healthcare experience. Sorry. Then this clinical researcher. Let's say you're public health. You work in public health. You work in research. You can be a clinical researcher. So even though it's not a clinical side, but it categorized as a clinical researcher because it's kind of a specialist term, specialist level of research. Then you have clinical audiologists. Then you have optometrist, clinical optometrist, and clinical psychology, and clinical dental nurse specialist. Dental nursing is also available. It is a very short course as well. You can start as a nurse, dental nurse assistant, and you can progress up to a dental nurse specialist. It depends on your preference. You can be in dental field, you can be in ophthalmology field. Yeah, you can decide which field you want to be in. And next slide is I've created this diagram to show some pathway of how you can be a clinician. So let's start from the MBBS actually. So if you have a first degree, you can become a doctor with this MBBS program called Graduate Entry Medicine Program. So the universities in UK takes in graduates from different fields. Even if you have like I said, like you have a low degree, first degree, low as the first degree, you can still apply for this course if you fulfill the criteria. You can look for relevant universities to look for guidelines. So this is actually a 4 years course. Instead of total 6 years, you can complete in 4 years. But there are certain exams you have to do, like UK CAT, BMAT, like entrance exams. And this is highly competitive course because a lot of local students compete to get into this degree, like pharmacist and biomedical scientist. Then let's look at the nursing degree. There is a BSc nursing program and an MSc nursing program. So the BSc program is you can start as a bachelor's nursing degree. Then you can become a specialist nurse. Once you qualified as a nurse, you can complete a nurse prescriber course, which is a 6 months, a very short course. And yeah, you can be a specialist nurse, then you become a clinician. And also you can follow the MSc pathway, but this is something you all can look up into because you all have a degree, you can look for this graduate entry nursing if anyone interested. Then once you qualify, it's the BSc course is actually 3 years, MSc course is 2 years. There's 1 year exemption in that. So you can be a registered nurse, then you can be a specialist nurse prescriber, and you can be a specialist nurse, eventually leads you to the clinician level. Then if you have a public health degree, after years of experience, you can apply to become a consultant in epidemiologist. So you can be like a BSc level degree or MSc level degree, but with some experience, hopefully. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a PhD. You can be there is a program run by the government. You can, every year you can apply for this program, and they interview and select students. So you can study and work at the same time, and you can be a specialist consultant epidemiologist. Then you have this pathway called physician associate. So it is a master's degree. If you do this program straight into the clinician level, later you can look for like a specialist in physician associate, like you can be a general physician associate. Then you can specialize in like cardiology, like respiratory, and anything you want. Then let's see the pharmacy level. Here, the pharmacy is like pharmacy degrees, 4 years MPharm degree. If you complete that, you can be a prescribing pharmacist. To be a prescribing pharmacist, you will have to do like further courses. Like it's not a long one, it's 6 months course. You can work while doing this course, and you can be a clinically qualified pharmacist. So you can see patients, you can prescribe, you can work in primary and secondary care. And the next one is this is the pathway I'm taking now. With long-term healthcare experience with a healthcare degree, you can become an advanced clinical practitioner and a clinician. Yeah, okay, so that's all. I know it's a tiring and demanding thing to work in NHS, because personally, now that I've started my course, I find it really challenging with children, because even though it's since the COVID, life is much easier actually for students, because 80% of the coursework is online, and only 20% of course you have to attend the university. Like for example, my degree, my studies are like Monday, Tuesday online. Sometimes Wednesday I have to attend the university, and Thursday I will have to attend the university. But Fridays mostly I don't have anything. So I work on Fridays. So where I work, they are very good people. They help me to complete my course, and they adjust according to my schedule. But when it comes to sorry, when it's come to training, it's kind of a bit difficult, because I have to continuously attend hospital placements. So it's not like long ones, it's 6 weeks. So I have to work long shifts, like 12 hours. Sometimes I have to start at 7 and finish at 7 at night. So far, I haven't had any night shifts, but I will have to do a couple of night shifts as well. Except that I don't think it's hard to study in this country while working, while being a mom, and looking after your family and everything. If one of you can support, the other person can do something. Like if you want to come as a family, husband and wife, but like we in my family, I always like work around my kids' schedule. And my husband, he tried to arrange his work as well. The good thing is he has his own business, so he's not committed to do like hours, this much of hours and all. But so he always helps me in that. So when kids are at home, like now, they don't have any, they are at home because of holidays. I have to work on Friday, sometimes another day. So usually I work 1.5 days because of my studies. But even that day, sometimes I find difficult because I need to find someone to take care of my kids. But we work around that, and we try to arrange everything possible, to hopefully kids will understand as well. They are good. They understand why we do this, and what they have to do, support us and everything. And my workplace, they are very good. They help me. Sometimes I take them with me. I know they don't like it to sit there and just do nothing. They can't play games or anything, no internet. But I have that flexibility of working. And yeah, then family support. If you want to come to UK, don't think that it's going to be easy. It is highly challenging, highly demanding. You can't, just like in Sri Lanka, you can't expect everything to come to your hand. I know now it's not the case in there as well, but as a Unani doctors, you might have experienced a very, um, like easy life there, maybe sit in a clinic and see patients. It's not the case here. Patient is the ultimate level person. We have to always, even though they are wrong, we always have to say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because we have to accept, we have to be empathetical. In that case, all your arrogance or your mindset have to keep aside and think differently in here. Yeah, it's a bit challenging because I've seen some doctors cry because patients yell at them. Even recently, there was a doctor who came to us when we all there in the staff room, and he said, I don't want to do this job. It's so stressful because patients, they don't listen. They diagnose and they try to treat the patient, then they say, no, I don't want this treatment, I want this treatment. You're wrong. I know it's not the case in Sri Lanka, but here it is the method of NHS, National Health Service. So you always have to give the first choice to the patient. It's something called informed consent. If you inform everything, and the patient have to decide which treatment they are taking. You can't decide for patients. Also, like sometimes you see, I have seen some people sharing patient details and treatment packages and everything online, but it's not the case here. You can't advertise yourself or like you can't, you have to keep the confidentiality. Yeah, even if it's my husband, my husband is registered where I work, but I'm not allowed to look at his records without his permission. So these are very strict things they are following in this country. So you have to obey by the rules. Yeah, so I'm going to take you to, I don't know if I'm a bit early. I'll leave some extra time for question and answer session. Let me take you to one of the most highlighted point in my journey in UK. I met Prince William a couple of months ago. I've attached my video here. Hope you will enjoy this. This is from the central, city hospital called Royal Marsden, Chelsea. It is the first ever cancer hospital in the world. You see all sort of patients coming in from different countries, and a specialized hospital. This was the moment I met Miss Principalia. An unexpected thing, actually. Let me just play this. Hope you will enjoy that. Okay, so that's all from me actually. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if it's too much, but it was one of the special moments in my life as an NHS worker. And I know I'm 15 minutes early than I've planned. And any questions? Let me see if there's any chats having.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
If we want to do physician associate, I'm a BUMS graduate, Unani doctor. And if you want to be a physician associate, is there any course or directly we can join to?
Okay, so are you Ajmela?
Yeah.
Okay. So the physician associate, you have to do a course. So it is an MSc course. It is a 2 years course, 2 years degree. There are like certain universities that they provide, they have this course, not all the universities, some of the universities. I think there are a couple of universities in London and few other universities away from London have this course. You can look to apply for this course as an international student, which I'm not very sure about international students. I can have a look and share details with you if you want to contact with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is a 2 years master's course. You have to do it complete because once you complete it, you can register in a professional body. So it's just like a physician. You will be registered under physician association body, government body in the UK. So without that license, you can't practice as a physician associate.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Can I have your number personally?
Yes, I don't know how to share it. Maybe I'll share it with Dr. Wasima. You can get it. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah.
Okay, Jazakallah. Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm happy to answer in any language.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm Hansika Sammani from Sri Lanka, and I've completed my bachelor's degree in Eastern University, and I'm a graduate registered Siddha medical officer now. Currently, I
Okay.
completed my internship also. I'm hoping to apply for my master's, and I wish to know in which university you did your master's in public health, ma'am.
Yeah, it was in Middlesex University, London.
All right, okay. After that, we can go through that pathway, right?
You can. There is a wide range of job opportunities in public health. The main reason I did not want to go in that field was because of the job pattern, because it's non-clinical. You have to work on a lot of research work and the academic writings and all. And
Okay,
full time mostly, there is a wide range of opportunity in public health. Yeah.
okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. I just wanted to know about the university.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
okay. You're welcome. Anyone else wish to ask anything? I'm just checking the chats. So Shazmia, currently doing the final BMS examination, currently doing his master's in Sunderland University. How can I approach for coming there? I mean, if he does a master's degree, I'm sure he can get post-study working visa once he complete. Because the following a master's degree, you can anyone can get a post-study work visa. So because even I came here when my husband had this post-study working visa category, and he applied me as a dependent. You don't have to show a lot of money in that case. Yeah, you can, if you want to join him now, before he finished masters, still he can apply you as a dependent. I'm not very confident in giving an answer like in legal side, but I know that there is a way that you can come as a dependent while he's studying, and if he complete his studies, still you can come as a dependent. Yeah. So Harshani, I live in northwest London, which is yeah, it's northwest London. I live in Wembley, the area called Wembley. Naturopathic practitioner, this is Bushra. So all these herbal related practice comes under herbal medical or complementary medicine in this country. So you can register with a complementary medical body, like a governing body in this country, and I think you can start practicing. You can. It's kind of like what do you call it? You can start your own business. Actually, you won't find any jobs in National Health Service, but you can, yeah, you can start your own practice because I personally know an Indian homeopathic doctor who practices here as a homeopathic doctor in her own place. So you are always allowed to practice if you have a proper degree and proper training, as long as you complete your health and safety safety things. And yeah, so if you have enough space, you can start your own business. Yeah, then hope I answered the question. Can I have the recording for this session? I think Dr. Wasima can share this recording. 1 minute.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes,
This
sure.
meeting is allocated for the limited time.
Okay.
So before it's end up, we will finish, I think. And I have to say thank you to Dr. Rizana for delivering a wonderful presentation about career progression and development in UK by sharing your own experience briefly. And
Yep.
you have discussed about several useful topics. Hope all the participants got a brief knowledge about this session. And also, so many students ask about the legal procedure and all. And we are also having another program in coming weeks about related pathway of migrating to UK and applying methods and the legal way to the universities and all. So stay tuned with ICA for useful webinars like which is to be held in coming weeks. And thank you so much, Doctor, again. This great webinar so far. And
Thank you.
is there anybody to give any feedbacks or suggestions about this webinar? Is there anybody? If you have any opinion or suggestions and feedbacks about this webinar, you can share lively. And those who have lots of doubts and all, you can discuss in the group, and also you can leave a text message in the WhatsApp to the admin numbers. They will clarify you and try to give you the clarification for the doubts and all. And we will share the recordings of today's session also. And also tomorrow we have another program that is about the DHA's MOH exam in UAE, which will be targeting about the exam guidance and all. Hope that also will be a helpful webinar for you all to choose your career path. Is there anybody to share your feedbacks about this? Okay. So there are a lot of people sharing their testimonials in the chat box. Thank you so much for all the people. Hope this will be benefit for you all in the future. And thank you so much, Dr. Rizana, once again. You had a very brief discussion with us. Thank you so much.
You're very
Thank you all the
welcome.
participants. So we will end up the session. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.